Hello, this is Ken Ferry with this week's Boots in the Field report. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and I hope one of your New Year's resolutions is to raise the biggest crop of your career in 2019. As I look at the 10-day forecast, what started out to be a long winter in November is about to get shorter here in January. Looks like some warmer temperatures and only about 2 serious chances of rain in the 10-day forecast. So for those of you that have field work left to do, if the opportunity knocks, let's get her done. This is especially true for the guys that need to get fall chiseling done. In some of those fields with the ruts that need to be filled in, a tough day of tillage in the winter is still better than a good day of chiseling in the spring. Freezing and thawing goes a long way to help shore up our fall chiseling. You guys in vertical tillage, though, still remember the cardinal rule: you have to have full shatter if you're going to go. If anhydrous rolls again, make sure the bars are sealing. Don't let it gas off. As we go through yield maps with our clients this time of year and discuss things like down corn and the fall jobs that didn't get done, I noticed some of our operations that seem to always fight the time window in the fall. Sure, we have excuses like picked the wrong number and it went down, elevator couldn't keep up, had unforeseen breakdowns, or the corn wouldn't dry down, or weather delays. But you start to notice in some operations a repeating problem of timely harvest showing up year after year. It used to be that the planting window put the squeeze on everybody, but farmers are doing a pretty good job of getting that end of the operation ramped up. Many operations can plant their corn in 7 to 10 days, working days. As I observe our operations that seem to fight the time window in the fall versus those that don't, I notice some differences. Size of operation is a big one. How many acres do you have to get through the fall? But even with the larger operators, there's big differences in what it takes to get the crop out. Now is a good time to evaluate your harvest procedures. Now, I mean a good evaluation, not a touchy-feely evaluation. Not what you think you can do if everything works like it's planned, but I'm talking about reality. So dig out your records, see how long it took you to harvest the last 5 crops, start to finish. Review when it went as planned and when it didn't, and why. If you have struggled all of the last 5 years and have an assortment of favorite excuses, it may be time to look at your operation in the mirror. Know what the daily capacity is of your system. It's only as fast as your weakest link. If you can harvest 160 acres a day, but you could only handle 80 acres of grain a day, your capacity is 80 acres. 80 acres a day may have been all right when you're farming 1,500 acres, meaning that you had 20 days to get it harvested. But now you're farming 4,000 acres, you may need 50 days to get this harvest done. That's 50 days without weather delays or breakdowns. If harvesting is going to take that long, you'll need a second team to do all the other fall duties, like tillage, because there won't be enough time left after harvest. One of the biggest time issues I see is left over from when growers had less acres. They let the corn dry down in the field. When corn gets to 15%, they get serious about harvesting, which means at the end of the 50 days, you're going to be harvesting some 12% corn. With dry corn comes ear droppage and down corn. Down corn can turn 50 days of harvest into 70 pretty quick. All you get done is chasing the next field before it goes down. If you're going to wait for the corn to dry down in the field, and you seem never to get done when you expect it, you don't have many choices but to improve the capacity of your weakest link, whether that's harvesting or grain handling. This is true whether you do it yourself or you get it hired done. The other option is to widen your window. Next fall's harvest plan should start now. If you don't make a plan and follow it, you're doomed to repeat past performances. One of the ways to start earlier, but still have dry corn, is to break up your corn maturities. A third of your acres in an early corn, a third mid-season, a third full season. When you do this, you have to plant your early corn first and your late corn last. If you do it the other way around, you're going to end up finishing at the same time. Break up your bean maturities so you can jockey back and forth between the two crops if you need to. When we have this discussion with growers, they say, I don't like planting early corn, it doesn't yield as well. But at the same time, some of their full season corn lost 30 bushel when it fell down and more than doubled their harvesting cost. Like planting, be ready when kickoff comes. Don't prep the combine the first day of harvest. If you can't improve efficiencies or refuse to dry corn or change maturities to start early, you need to make the corn stand longer. Healthier corn tends to stand longer. Diseased and nutrient deficient corn tends to fall down sooner. In our plots, spraying corn with a fungicide gives us about 2 weeks better standability, even when it doesn't give us a yield response. So some of the payback is in standability and in field dry down. Some of our customers spray a percentage of their acres every year for this purpose, only to lengthen the harvest window. But you got to follow through with your plan. You can't spray a field for standability and harvest it first because it's near the bin site. Talk to your seed people about your harvest routine. If they know they need a hybrid to stand for 50 days after black layer, they're probably going to change their recommendation. Standability and ear droppage are more important than yield potential at this point. Like I said, now is a good time to evaluate your operations' fall efficiency. Get everyone involved. You may be surprised the difference of opinion you get between your grain harvesters, your grain handlers, and your tillage crew. And like I said, look at the last 5 years, not just this year. Mother Nature can wreak havoc on the best laid plans. You guys in Iowa know what that's all about. But with that said, farms that don't have a good harvest strategy in place, years like 2018 become costly and unbearable. To stay up to date, check out our website at croptechinc.com and subscribe to our podcast, Boots in the Field Report. Keep her safe, keep her moving.